Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Deurklink Megapark. Now, in the last episode I worked on this area over here, which is the kids area. Now, I think I made it look a lot nicer. So the coaster has been moved, some of the rides have been upgraded. I made the maze look a little bit nicer, and I added this star flyer over here. Now, in this episode I want to focus on this area right next door. There's quite a few things that I want to change over here. But the biggest thing that I want to change is actually this ride over here. So here's a pair of powered coasters, and they both travel in opposite directions. And what I never really liked about this ride is that these trains barely interact with each other. They will only meet each other at the station and over here at this part of the ride. And I think it will be much more fun if these rides travel in the same direction and when they have lots of close encounters, maybe also a racing element. I think that will make this ride much more fun to watch. So I will tear down both of these tracks. I will tear down the scenery, and I will just completely redo this pair of coasters. Alright, these two rides now both had their layouts redone. The synchronization isn't perfect, but it's very close. They arrive at the station almost at the same time. I think right now they have lots more interaction moments. It already starts from the station into these helixes. Over here they pass under each other. I really like this part where they also drive next to each other. These two helixes over here, I think that's also a pretty cool element. And finally here at the end they also pass over and under each other again. So all in all, with all these interaction moments, I think the ride has just become a lot better, and at least a lot more fun to watch. So I think this is definitely a step up for this area of the park. Alright, with the pair of roller coasters taken care of, right here next door there's another ride that I want to do some changes on. Now here we have the Stunt Show with all these jet skis, And I intentionally made it a pretty low capacity ride. I don't want all the guests heading for this ride. You should pretend that these people riding these jet skis are paid stunt actors. So yeah, there's a little queue for the ride tucked away here, and guests actually have to wait quite a long time to be able to get here. And when the guests get here to this queue, well, the queue is often full. I don't want so many guests heading for this ride. The excitement rating of this ride is quite high, so I'm just going to lower it a little bit to decrease the number of guests that are actually going to head for it. Now, we can of course do that using the ride vehicle editor. So let's try and select this jet ski. I'll just pause the game to make it a bit easier. I'll go to edit ride, freeze rating calculation. I see it's already ticked. So I probably already lowered the excitement rating once before. But yeah, just going to step it down a few notches. Now, hopefully this is still enough excitement to keep the queue for this, to keep some guests heading for this ride, so that we will also always see jet skis here. But yeah, I hope this also makes guests head for other rides with higher priority, because I really want queues of other rides to be filled before this one. Now, another thing that I want to do here is for this stage over here. Well, first of all, I think it looks a bit silly with these stairs having railings. So I will change those into stairs with invisible railings. I think that will make it look a little bit less silly. And another thing that I want to do here is actually make a roof for this grandstand. I think that will make it stand out a little bit more. I think it will make it look a little bit cooler. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, this stage now has a roof over it. I think it looks pretty cool. Also made these stairs leading upwards look a little bit nicer without these railings next to them. Because, yeah, they would prevent guests from actually getting here. So, yeah, I think it now looks a little bit more believable. And also a little bit less guests should now be heading for the Stunt Show ride. Okay, the next thing that I want to work on is this building for the log flume. Now, here on the front it actually looks pretty nice, but I think the rest of the building leaves something to be desired. When guests exit the building here for the big drop of the log flume, yeah, they would be able to see the roof here. So I'm probably going to make something nice here in the front, so that guests don't have to look at this ugly flat roof. And also for the backside, yeah, I'm going to make it a little bit less boring and just going to add some decorations to it. Hopefully I can improve it a little bit. Okay, with these simple upgrades, I think this building now has a much more interesting shape. You can see here on the edge of this roof, I just sloped some of these wall pieces. I think that already helps a lot to make this roof at least look more interesting. And also when the guests are riding here, when they look to their right, they now at least see some more of this stuff. And not immediately this gray roof. Now over here, I just added some simple towers here on the back, also with some of these statues on top. And over here, some more different towers on the back. So all in all, I think it's a great improvement for this building. Alright, there's another thing that I want to update here. Over here we have this disco ride. And right now I've used this multi-dimension coaster track for it. And I think... well, when I built these rides nowadays, I built them with RMC track. Because I think it looks more like the track that real disco rides use. So I'm just going to quickly change it to hybrid coaster track. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like I don't really have to do much to actually make this work. I think it already looks pretty nice. Probably just going to have to... do some work here on these supports, but then it should be done pretty quickly. Alright, it looks ready to me. Don't really see anything weird here. And I think with this RMC track, the disco coaster looks even nicer than it did before. Alright, with that, I think I've done all the building that I want to do in this episode. So now we've come to the point where I'm going to add several more entertainers to the park and name them after some more of my patrons. Alright, we now have 5 more entertainers in the park named after patrons. Now most of them are entertainers with a handyman costume. So yeah, using the Peep Editor plugin you can do that. So they look like regular handymen, but every now and then they wave at the guests. And yeah, they're the gardeners over here in between these giant carrots. Now I've also added a pirate entertainer here on the roof of the Stunt Show grandstand. And I already had a bandit walking around on this little island. He used to be named Evil Villain. But yeah, now I also named him after one of my patrons. And now his name is Johnson. So yeah, hope you all enjoy your spot in the park. And in the next episodes I will make sure that all of my patrons will get a spot in the park as an entertainer. So already done quite a few of them. And of course, once again, thank you for the support. If you also want to support me on Patreon, you can find a link in the video description. Alright, let's do a quick recap of everything that I did in this episode. So first off, I started with redoing the layout of this pair of rides. So they used to go in opposite directions, but now they go in the same direction and they interact with each other a lot. Okay, that was I think that was really missing from the ride in its old layout. So I'm much more happy with how this ride behaves now, and it's much more fun to watch. And the ride also seems pretty popular. The queues are filling up nicely, so that's a good thing. With a pair of dueling rides like this, you definitely want the trains to be sort of the same weight, so it's good that they both fill up with guests. Now, after that, I also did some work over here. I gave the grandstands over here a roof, which I think looks a bit nicer. And I also lowered the excitement rating of the Stunt Show a little bit, just so that a bit less guests had for their ride. It has a pretty short queue, so I don't want too many guests trying to search for this ride. The park's pretty big, so yeah, the less people are heading for a ride with low capacity, the better. Now, I also did some work over here on this building, which has the log flume in it. I gave it a much more interesting shape. Really happy with how it turned out. And finally, I gave this disco ride over here RMC track instead of the multi-dimension coaster track, which it used to have. I think that's also a big improvement. Alright, it was really fun to work on this park again. And I think with just a few more episodes, I will have improved stuff all throughout the park. There's only just parts in this area of the park left that I still want to improve a little bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me build. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. It would really help out my channel, and it just takes 1 second to do. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.